If you enjoy listening to inspirational stories from people just like us, facing the fear and doing it anyway, then you're in the right place. My name is Claire Hill, and this is the No Rest for the Vivid podcast. Hello, welcome to episode 27 of the No Rest for the Vivid podcast. Podcast. It's because I was thinking I need to say with your host, Claire Hill. You may have just come across me. I've been doing this podcast for since August. No, since September, right? So it's 6 months. 6 months of podcast episodes. I'm still loving it. I am going to take a break for the next 4 or 5 weeks as I have a very massive, exciting, scary project that I've got commissioned through Vivid Wire, and I need to give it my full attention. And even though I really adore this podcast and I love doing it, something's got to give, and this is what it is, unfortunately. So you're going to miss my voice for 5 weeks, or 4 or 5 weeks. I'm not quite sure when I'll be back. I'll be back sometime in May. However, I am going to I'm sort of going to be sharing like little snippets of the best bits over the next few weeks. So stay tuned. I have had a brilliant week. I'm in this process of really getting very detailed with my strategy. So I wanted to talk to everybody, or all of you today, about what transforming from a worrier to a warrior is, why it's important, the fact that it applies to everybody. You don't actually need to have a business. And I love it because I've realised how many times I've supported people to transform from a worrier to a warrior. And I'm really excited. I decided yesterday to hold a master lesson on transforming from a worrier to a warrior. And it does really apply to anybody. It doesn't apply just to somebody with a business. And I'm going to hold that. I think I'm going to hold that next week. I'll put the details in the show notes. And it's going to be £22. Well, I'm going to put the price up probably next week, but at the minute it's £22. The fundamentals of transforming from a worrier to a warrior, I believe, are creating your warrior energy, which I'll talk about more in a minute, having a plan and a strategy, and having a money-making attitude. Now, the reason why you don't have to have a business for all of this is that you can apply all of those things to real life. For example, creating warrior energy. Warrior energy is in all of us. You are born with it, but we sort of forget it exists. The slow bog down of life. Well, it's not actually slow, is it? It's quite hectic. But the sludge of everyday life, having to do meal plans, go shopping, do the washing up, clear after your family, and all of those really annoying things, sort of bogs us down, and we lose that sense of magic and empowerment that we have got inside of us. The term warrior energy comes from how you feel once you have and have created this kind of energy. I did have somebody comment on a post and said, you can't create warrior energy, you're born with it. And I totally agree. You're definitely born with it, but we have to sort of like reawaken it, or find tools within our own life where we can awaken that kind of sense of purpose within us that makes us feel really excited about what we're doing in our day. Now, I have a toolkit that I give to all of my one-to-one clients. Everybody that is a Vivid Club member gets it as well. And that toolkit is all about looking at lots of different activities that you can do that linked to taking care of yourself and self-care and putting yourself first. I've said it before in episodes that I believe, I'm not getting away from the fact that as I say this, I feel a little bit sick, but my energy is more important than Jackson. Not his basic needs. I will always meet his basic needs before my own because he's my child. Jackson's my son, by the way. But I need to make sure that my energy is in a really good place. I filled my cup up. I have made sure I've been just Claire before I am mum, wife, friend, business owner, employer now. All of those things I have to be just myself, just Claire, sitting, being just me. And since I made the effort to do this, my business has transformed and has grown massively. And that is because warrior energy drives you forward in a really focused way. And this is where it does just apply to people with businesses, because when you are running a business, you not only have to be the person doing the business. Say if you're on your own, a solo entrepreneur, micro business. I hate using those kinds of terms though, because I think it diminishes the impact that you can have on your own. So say you are a business CEO, you own your own business, you are the lead in it. You have to split yourself into the leader and being led. So you have to have the energy to get up in the morning, drive yourself forward, be motivated, as well as be your own inspiration in a way, because you're setting the tone of the business, the values, the goals, the vision. You are setting all of that. That means you have to lead yourself. And bloody hell, does that take a lot of energy? That takes so much energy. And if you don't work on the energy you need to do that, there's going to be a lot of times, a lot of days, and I've been there a lot of times on a lot of days where you feel like, what's the point? I might as well give up. I haven't got any ideas. I'm not making any money. I'm not getting any leads. I'm not getting any sales, etc., etc., etc. All warrior energy does is it sort of fills your reserves of resilience as well. So creating warrior energy is really important. And in the toolkit that I give out to everyone in the Vivi Club, in it, you have different aspects. I break warrior energy down into different feelings, situations, aspects of it. Split it down really, really clearly. And then there are multiple sort of things that you can add in for your day that hit a lot of those aspects. For example, one of the things that I always promote is morning pages. That comes from Julia Cameron's book. And Julia Cameron idea is that we walk around with a fog, and this is mainly for creators, but I believe it works for anybody. You wake up and a lot of the time you're filled with negative thoughts. You might be seeking negativity. You might be in a mindset of a lack, like, oh, what haven't I got? I can't do this. Whereas morning pages you sort of get all that shit out of the way before you start your day. And for a very long time, I was waking up and I would write 3 A4 pages of absolute dog shite, but it made me feel so good. And there's the quote, and I forget the lady's name who said the quote, but we are the sky, everything else is just the weather. So those thoughts are like those dark, rainy clouds, and morning pages just come in with a gust of wind and blow it all away. Really gives you clarity. And if you do run your own business, you can talk through issues or problems or find the solution for something, or ideas or goals, your vision, all of those things you can talk through with yourself because you're writing things down. I feel that morning pages gives you clarity and focus, which is part of wisdom, part of warrior energy. It also makes you feel magic inside about your abilities. You can focus on giving yourself a bit of a pep talk and just having your own back. And that is another side of warrior energy. But it also helps you to know exactly who you are and where you're going. And it helps you to stop giving a fluff what people think. And that is another key of showing up in your business, is showing up for yourself, for your business, getting yourself out there. If you really know who you are, where you're going with that, you have clarity on it, and you've cleared out all of that shit in your brain because of, the daily thoughts, the daily grind just cloud you up, then you aren't going to care if anybody doesn't like your stories or your work or your content. You just don't care. I honestly create content that I love to make, that I think has value. I don't give a shit if people don't like it or not. Which what I mean is I don't count the likes. That's what I mean. Like, as in, I don't care if they press the heart or not. Well, these words now with social media have got more than one meaning. I do care that it brings value. I want all of my content to bring value and people to enjoy my content on social media, as well as my email marketing and everything else. But I do all of that because I love it, and I'm not bothered about what people think about it if it's negative. Do you get what I mean? You can't answer. That's what I mean. So morning pages help you do that. And that's part of warrior energy, really just having faith in yourself and knowing where you're heading is where you need to be. And another thing to do with warrior energy before I move on to the next section is having like an idea and really protecting it. And that's where even that, yesterday I went on my stories, I'd had this real clarity about the fact that I transform people from worriers to warriors, and how I do that. And I thought I just want to talk about this more. And I feel like it can make a real impact. I'm just going to go on the website this minute before I change my mind, because this is the thing, you have these ideas and they make you feel really electric. And then you're like, yeah, but no one's really going to buy it. Oh, no one's going to like it. And then the negative limiting things come in. So I thought, right, before all of that gets involved, I'm going to go on my website. I'm going to make a product for this master lesson. I'm going to sell it for £22. I'm going to go on my stories and I'm just going to tell people about it. If people buy it, brilliant. If people don't, brilliant. Because what I've actually done is I've got an idea, I've worked out how to do it, and I've done the work. And that for me is still growth and development within me and my business. If people buy it, that is brilliant, because I think there's going to be a lot of value in it. If people don't buy it, nothing changes. I've actually made myself grow in a different area because I've just been really spontaneous with value that I can offer. So that, my friends, is warrior energy. So another part of warrior energy that can apply to everybody is planning and strategy. Do you know the difference between strategy and planning? If you don't, I'm going to tell you. Strategy is the idea of where you're going to go, where you're heading. A lot of people talk about having a strategy for this. Potentially, like if you are a service-based business, you may have a strategy of how you find new leads, or you might have a sales strategy if you're a product-based business. So they're like, it's not necessarily how it sounds, because actually in that sense people are saying having a plan. It's sort of like a way to do things in that sense, I suppose. But overall, the main meaning and definition of strategy is to decide where you're going, where are you heading, and then the plan is how you're going to get there. So actually, when they say sales strategy, the strategy part is that you want sales, and then part of that sales strategy is the plan of how to get those sales. That's how it is. It's just people sum it up, but it actually loses the meaning of what a strategy is. A strategy is something that you create. It is adaptable in a way. It can be flexible. You can sort of bend it a little bit. It's quite long, so you're thinking about like, where do you want to be in a year? A plan is broken down. I only plan per quarter. I'm actually doing my quarterly plan today, which is really, bloody love days like this. Really, really like it. And I'm very fortunate now that my best friend Bex works with me. So she really understands the business. So it's very good for me to bat ideas off of her and, talk things through. But normally I would do it with my husband, or I've just done it with myself in the past and just pretend, just talk to myself. I talk to myself a lot in my business because I do need to talk things through, even if it's just with myself. Um, so planning and strategy, this applies to everyone, because in a year, where do you want to be? Do you still want to be in the same position that you're in? If you do, fantastic. That's up to you. Great. I've never been one of those people. My husband hates me for it, I think. He loves the growth and he loves obviously all the money I make and stuff, but he I think he would just like 1 year of just rest. But I feel uncomfortable when I rest. You're not in a, like, not as in when I sit and read or something like that. I don't feel uncomfortable then, but uncomfortable in never pushing myself and learning. I'm always have to be learning. That's what it is. I have to always be learning. And usually when I'm learning something new, I'm intending to make some money out of it. So, so it does feel like it's me just on the go all the time, and it is just primarily me learning. So when you strategize, you thinking about that vision of where you want to be in a year. How are you going to get there? And you break down that vision into goals. Then you split those goals into quarters. What can you actually achieve in the next quarter? The next quarter, if your standard calendar, it's going to run April, May, June, and those 3 whole months. What do you want to achieve in those months? And then you can break it down further into goals for each month. If you're product based, you are going to have a lot of launches throughout the year, occasions, gifts. For example, if you're product based, one that is a really good place to market and prepare for, which I missed for the first couple of years, is teacher gifts. There's such an admiration and more appreciation for teachers now since lockdowns. So people want to buy something that is personalized, handmade, unique. So if you're product based and you're handmade, there's a real market there for teacher gifts. And because people always buy teacher gifts, there's a market that you can get into. So that is, if you are in Scotland, I have a lot of customers that live in Scotland. Their term finishes in June. And I know in Ireland as well, I have a lot of customers in Ireland. Their summer term finishes in June, I believe, beginning of June. So you have to sort of take into consideration different areas and when they break up for summer. You need to plan that in for your quarter, and that would fall into this next quarter. Obviously, Christmas is in quarter 3 preparation, and then the selling of it is in quarter 4. So breaking down things and having some focus is a really good thing to do if you want to transform from a worrier to a warrior, because it gives you clarity and focus. And you are able to train yourself to procrastinate less. Procrastination does not serve our vision or our energy. As I've just said, we've got our vision in our strategy and the warrior energy there. But procrastination doesn't do either of those things. And when you're in periods of massive growth, you are going to experience negative beliefs, negative thoughts, and limiting beliefs. Now, a warrior will consume those negative thoughts and believe that they're not supposed to be doing what they're supposed to be doing. That's where a plan comes in, because a warrior will say, actually, these negative thoughts are just part of the process and part of me growing and developing. I am going to let them just wash over me and then tell them to kindly fuck off. I don't like swearing too much, but in that sense, you need to go away. I'm growing here. That's that kind of thing. That's where you can transform from a warrior to a warrior. And the plan and strategy helps you focus back on the reasons why you're getting up and doing this growth and how you're pushing yourself forward. I have, like, up on my wall my vision of where I want to be in a year, and like I said about my goals. But the other thing of, like, my focus of using the Vivid Club to help people transform from a warrior to a warrior, I want people to know that it's perfectly acceptable to have negative thoughts. Everybody has them. It's just what you do with them, what you choose to do with those negative thoughts once they happen. So having a plan and a strategy can really anchor you into your purpose and into your day. And when I wake up in the mornings, I know what I need to achieve for that day. I know that I have to get to the end of the day, ticking off some goals. I use the Pomodoro technique, which I have spoken about before, but Google it. It is my absolute life hack. I get so much done when I use the Pomodoro technique, and I basically use it every day. I do use it every day. I also use the 1% factor. So if I do find myself procrastinating within my planning, and this is also what I teach in the Vivid Club, we plan in our 1% factors. So what is 1% of that job that we can trick our brains into stopping procrastinating so that we can get it done? So far, to transform from a worrier to a warrior, create your warrior energy every day, priority before everyone gets up. And I didn't say in the last section, I get up early to get that done. It's not fun getting up early. It makes me feel very uncomfortable. I don't snooze the alarm. That's another thing that helps with creating my warrior energy. If I snooze the alarm, I feel crap. It's actually biologically not that great for you if you snooze the alarm, because it increases levels of cortisol in your bloodstream, which is a stress hormone. So before you've even started your day, you're stressed, like chemically stressed already before you've even started, because you're not sleeping well while you're snoozing the alarm, and it's like you are anticipating the alarm going off again. I've written about it in my life hacks books, which you can get free if you sign up to the Vivid Club mailing list. There you go, a little plug for you. It's a good book, actually. I'm quite proud of that. So I get up. So, for example, this morning I got up at 4:45. There was quite a lot that I needed to do for my warrior energy. My warrior energy toolkit has changed slightly, where I need to think bigger for the business and everybody else that I'm supporting. This time last year, I was just supporting myself with Vivid Wire. Now I'm running a membership for small business owners. I've got a number of clients that I'm one-to-one coaching. And I've also got like people working with me now. And I've got, like everything's grown. And so my energy needs to grow, and my capacity to collect that energy and create that energy needs to grow. So I've had to change that a little bit. So I plan in getting up at 4:45. So this morning was tough. Literally the only thing that stops me getting back into bed is the thought of coffee. Literally. Oh, but it's worth it. I never regret it. I never ever regret taking that hour. Actually, this morning was like an hour and a half. Having an hour and a half totally to myself, where I can just be Claire and I'm not working. I was speaking to one of my clients yesterday, and he was saying about, when do you create your warrior energy? She's like, well, when I come back from the drop off before I start work. But she's then feeling guilty because she's not working and, working on her business. And I said, yeah, that you need to do it beforehand. So even though I am on my own most of the time because I'm working, I've got calls, or I've got meetings, or I've got Vivid Wire to create. I've got all these things that I need to do. I can't prioritize making my warrior energy in my working day. I barely get a half an hour lunch sometimes, though I'm so much better at booking my lunch hour in. It's so because when you're a teacher, you don't get a lunch hour. So it took me about 18 months to actually make myself have one. Just get used to not sitting down in the middle of the day. But yeah, I haven't got time in my working day from when Jackson wakes up to do it. So I have to get up earlier, and it's worth it. And there are these there were people say, oh, but I'm really tired. I do get it. Like I'm really tired. And I also have been doing it for a really, really long time. I did it when Jackson was a baby, even if I had a bad night, and I'm not trying to show off with that, because I do understand that some children sleep a lot better than others. But when Jackson did not sleep well, I did it because that I needed it. Now, it does mean you have to go to bed earlier. And this is the thing. People are like, well, you can't not have sleep. No, I sleep fine. I've got enough hours sleep. I go to bed early. And I think that's where we swap it from And actually, that's fine as well, because you could get up, do all of your warrior energy creating in the evening, couldn't you? Once the kids are in bed. I prefer doing it in the morning because then it's out of the way. It's like exercising in the morning. I don't do that though. I need to do that. I do need to do more movement. Right. And coming to my last point of how you can transform from a worrier to a warrior is having a money making attitude. Now, this is very specific to businesses, but when I worked in the normal world as a teacher, I think I still had a money making attitude. And I love making money. I really enjoy it. I love thinking of ways I can make money that give value to other people. So it's not when you're in this bit, like when I think of something to make money from, I'm like, how can that help people? How is that going to help the most people? That's why I started the Vivid Club membership, because you can't coach like, I'm going to have 800 people at least in the Vivid Club. I can't coach 800 people. I just can't do it. But I can support them and help them to transform from a worrier to a warrior within a membership group by giving them short burst training every week and opportunities for group coaching and support them with their content, which I'm really excited about, because this week we're working on content. So it's Tuesday the 5th. Tuesday the 5th is our content day. I'm just really love it, because everybody's content has done really well since we planned it last month. So I'm really excited about Tuesday. But money making attitude, we also look at the value that you provide your clients and customers that is apart from like not what you actually sell. And also you can do that within your job role. So you're paid for a certain job, but what actually value do you give outside of that to other people, for example? So as a teacher, I got it's not in my job description to be organized, but I was very highly organized, as I am now. And those skills benefited lots of different people because I would help them be organized. Your determination as a teacher actually supported me and my family in getting the house that we wanted. So there's loads of different things that sort of link in. But when you are running your own business, it's very difficult to get your mind around pricing, and especially when you increase your pricing. I worked with a member in the Vivid Club a couple of weeks ago about her pricing. And we've, again, in the Vivid Club, I give a formula to increasing your prices. So it's quite analytical in a way, I suppose. There's less emotion involved with setting your price using this formula. Then actually setting the price is where it gets scary. And we sat and we worked out her rates, her prices. She put them up, really shit herself. Like, putting your prices up for the first time is really scary. I set her a goal to earn in 2 weeks, but she's done it in a month. She's exceeded the goal actually with the new prices. So people have bought her products with an increased price. Brilliant. There's nothing to apologize for increasing your prices if you're delivering the value. I have my wire art, I know for a fact, is some of the most expensive wire art, but that's because it is the best wire art. I've made thousands and thousands and thousands of things, literally thousands and thousands, probably about 10,000 now, pieces of wire art that I've practiced and honed. I teach people regularly how to make wire art. I adore it. I put magic into every single bit. You're not telling me that it shouldn't be the most expensive. I put the most value in it. It's like, you want to invest in something that is going to last you a lifetime. Wire art lasts you a lifetime. It really does. I've got a piece that I gave my husband last Father's Day. We put it up in the garden. It's been up for almost a year. It looks like I've made it yesterday. It's been in the garden. It survived that bloody massive storm. This is not throwaway stuff. And I bet if your product base listens to this, neither are your stuff. Like one of my one-to-one clients makes handmade wooden toys that nurture the development in children, right? With fine motor skills, imagination, counting, letters, all of that. And they're so well made that she's made me one, and Jackson's got one as well. Jackson's going to be able to give those to play with to his grandchildren. It's going to last over 100 years. You're telling me that's not worth it? It's not worth what she should charge for it. We've got to raise this industry up, guys. And this is all about money making attitude, looking at yourself and thinking, I am worth this. I am. It's my thoughts thinking that I'm not, but I am. So I do a lot of encouraging around money making attitude in the Vivid Club. And we also do a money challenge. We've got our first money challenge. It might be next week or the week after. I think it's the week after, actually. And we are going to create a collective money making goal that we're all going to work towards over 10 days. And part of that is you have to write 20 ways that you can make money, and there's other work involved. You can just go, I'm going to make this and just get on with it, but it's much more effective if you do the other steps with it. So we're going to do that. And I believe that when you have a money making attitude, you're more open and available to opportunities. So if you're able to see more opportunities, then more opportunities are going to come to you. So you're going to make more money. It's like an amazing circle. If you've got your warrior energy, so you're sorted and you feel really good, you've got your strategy and plan in place, you're focused, you're not wasting time procrastinating. Then you have this money making attitude where you're like, I'm going to make money today. Opens up your eyes to more opportunities. You feel good about those opportunities because you've got your warrior energy. You plan them in because you know how to plan and strategize, and then that makes you more money. So you have a money making attitude, and it just goes around in this massive, the more money you make, the more opportunity to make warrior energy, because then you can pay for somebody to come and clean your house, supporting small business. You can pay someone to do your nails every week or whatever, every 2 weeks. That again supports small business. You can pay them what they're worth. I've got a cleaner and someone does my nails, and actually I have my eyelashes LVL'd, bent up. Not bent up. What's it called? Yeah, it is LVL, isn't it? Yeah. And she does my eyebrows. I pay all 3 of those women. Oh, and obviously have my hair done as well. I pay all 4 of those women that do that for me to make me feel really amazing, because they are such amazing people. I'm very lucky that the people that do that for me are really good-hearted people. I wouldn't go to if they weren't, but they're really good-hearted, amazing women that I want to support. I pay them all more than they charge me every single time, because they're worth it. And I actually give them free coaching every time as well to try and get them to put their prices up. My nail girl, Danielle, she refuses to put her prices up, right? Even though I give her all of these things. And I said, I'm paying you extra until you put your prices. You need to put your prices up. Obviously, she's not going to say no to that, but she's worth it. I'm still plowing on trying to get her to put her prices up. And my amazing cleaner, I put her hourly rate up straight away, and I've helped her to support her to put her hourly rate up with all her other clients, because she's bloody good. She's amazing. I don't know what I'll do without her now. But what it does is gives me more time and more energy to support other people to grow their businesses. And it's a lovely circle. It's the circle of life. Well, it's a circle of money, warrior energy, planning and strategy, isn't it? Now, there you go. In a nutshell, that's how I believe you can transform from a warrior to a warrior in your own life, in your business, wherever you feel like you need to transform it. And I can help you to do it. I have a space actually for one-to-one coaching come up. If you'd like to send me a message, we can talk about me coaching you one-to-one and mentoring you. But also we've got the Vivid Club membership. Get involved. It's bloody amazing in there. It really is. It's the best membership I'm aware of. I don't know any other better memberships. And I really stand by that, because the value that I'm putting into it, as well as the value of all the founding warriors, is just truly amazing. It really is. If you access it all and you're up for making a change, and you decide to transform from a worrier to a warrior, it's the place for you. There you go. So I'm going to go I can't even speak. I'm going to make myself a coffee, because now I'm going to do my quarter two planning. I'm so excited. I can't get my words out. Enjoy. I will be back sometime in May with the podcast. You will see the podcast around, with the extra little snippets of episodes, just little sections that I think sometimes these episodes, so there's some really real gold in these podcast episodes, and sometimes you need to listen to them twice. So there you go. I hope you have an amazing week. I hope your Easter holidays, if you've got kids, goes well. And I will see you sometime in May. See you later. Thank you so much for listening to the No Rest for the Vivid podcast, written, produced and hosted by Claire Hill, and music has been composed by my brother, Phil Vidler.